Joined live by our correspondent in Brussels, Kevin Ozebek. A very good evening to you, Kevin. Just give us the latest. What do we know about these arrests?
Well, good evening to you as well. Well, what we can report to you right now is that police all across Germany, France, and Belgium are continuing to look for suspects and people possibly connected to the Friday night terror attacks in Paris. Here in Brussels yesterday, we saw a massive police raid in that Molenbeek neighborhood you were just speaking of, but even though so many police officers were combing through that neighborhood, they still did not find exactly who they were looking for. And who they are looking for is a 26-year-old man by the name of Salah Abdel-Salam. French authorities have linked him to Friday night's attacks. Police know that there were at least 8 attackers Friday night in Paris. 7 of them died either by detonating themselves or were shot, but only one left alive, and that is Salah Abdel-Salam. They believe he's in Belgium, or he left for Belgium right after the attacks in Paris, and they went to Molenbeek because that's where he's from. But still, despite the intensive searches here in Brussels, he remains on the run, and right now he is Europe's most wanted man.
Kevin, we've been hearing Molenbeek district a lot. It seems that it's been described as Europe's jihadist hothouse. Now, why hasn't there been previous crackdowns, knowing that people that are living in this area have been on watch lists?
Well, actually there have. This is a neighborhood that is no stranger to anti-terror raids. And in fact, I just got back from the Molenbeek neighborhood maybe about an hour ago, and I was talking to people who live there, and they say this is not a new problem. For decades now, Molenbeek has become a hub for extremism. Just so you can picture Molenbeek in your head, it's a very poor neighborhood. The unemployment rate in Molenbeek is about 30%. That's the highest in all of Belgium. It's a Muslim majority neighborhood, and it's very isolated. And experts who study the psychology of terrorists say that the reason Molenbeek has become this epicenter of radical Islam is because it is so separate from the rest of Brussels. There's really no integration there. And in fact, when you walk through Molenbeek, many of the cafe and shop signs are in Arabic, not French. There really is not much of a Belgian identity in this neighborhood.
Now, earlier, Belgium's anti-terrorism organization had a list of more than 800 people, and they were saying that these people were involved in intelligence services in relation to foreign terrorist fighters. I'm just wondering, how is Europe progressing in terms of getting a coordinated list? Because it seems like in the EU, Germany doesn't necessarily know what Belgium is doing versus what Russia is doing, and so forth.
Well, we've been hearing from security experts all across Europe and really all around the world weighing in on this, and they say that it is crucial now that from this point forward, all intelligence agencies, whether they are here in Europe, the United States, Russia, or South Africa, need to be in constant communication with one another. In fact, we heard from Belgium's Interior Minister over the weekend. He said priority number 1 now will be making sure that we share intelligence with France. So it definitely sounds like it's possible that in the coming months, protocols when it comes to the various international security agencies could be changing, and that channels of communication between all the different various intelligence operations and networks could start to unite, come together, and all countries will be sharing exactly what they know about who they know when it comes to people who are suspected of potentially being terrorists.
Kevin, what about NATO? What role is NATO playing? Has NATO failed on the intelligence front?
Well, that's a question that people here in Europe will be asking in the coming months. NATO definitely does have a stake in this because one of its member countries was attacked. Interpol is now also involved. It has set up a crisis center as it continues to look for that fugitive who they are after, Salah Abdel-Salam. So you have multiple agencies involved here. This is now an international investigation, an international manhunt for this one particular terrorist that authorities are after. But also, it is pretty unanimous now from world leaders and from high-ranking government officials all across the world that now is the time that they want to come together and really start to focus on sharing intelligence, all in the hopes of preventing what happened in Paris and a similar attack of that nature.
Kevin, Brussels is the diplomatic capital of the world. It's not known for its state security, though. I'm wondering how is the security managing there? Are they getting help from other countries? And what's the general mood amongst Belgians tonight?
Well, I will say most people here in Brussels are absolutely shocked. They're shocked right now that their city has such a strong connection to this very deadly terrorist attack that went down in Paris. But they are also saying that it's no surprise to them that the neighborhood of Molenbeek is connected to all of this, because every sort of terrorist situation that has stemmed from Belgium has had a connection to Molenbeek. Now, when it comes to how the Belgian government is reacting, Belgian authorities are promising that they will be hiring more security officials, more security officers in the coming months. They definitely want to boost security patrols in Molenbeek and in other parts in the city. And in fact, yesterday, the Belgian government increased its terror security level. It went from a level 2 to a level 3, which does indicate that Belgium thinks it is possible that a terrorist event could be more likely here in this country.
That was Kevin Ozebek coming to us live from Brussels.